We decided to work with Realities for Children, which is an organization here that works with abused and neglected children in Fort Collins. We decided to do a Miracle Minute, and we teamed up with Spooner's Frozen Yogurt to raise money to put towards the nightlight ceremony that they do every year. We finished ours in November, which was early on in the year, so we were under a bit of a time crunch, so trying to get people to work fast was a bit difficult.
We overcame by doing a lot of work in class and a lot of work out of class, and we're really close with a lot of our classmates, so it was easy to get them to work a little faster.
I think we had more time for planning, and if we had chosen a basketball game with higher attendance when we did our Miracle Minute, that would have helped our end goal. So as a class, we worked a lot on advertising for the game and trying to get people to go to Spooner's, and we all met at the game to do the Miracle Minute and raise as much money as we could. We all got to work on something that we were all passionate about, which was working with children, and it was something we all wanted to see a successful result, so I think we had great participation.
It's been really awesome knowing that we're doing something to give back to our community, just because being in the public schools in Fort Collins, you get a lot of benefits, and even growing up in Fort Collins with everything that the community does for us, it's nice knowing that we're doing something to give back to them. Everyone in our class participated, and we all agreed on what we wanted to do, so it was pretty easy of figuring out what exactly had to be done and who needed to do what. We had a goal of $1,500 total. So far at the game we raised $761, and so we'll see. We're hoping for it though.
So we've been working with the people at Mackenzie Place for ever since school started, and we at the beginning of the year decided that we wanted to do a prom for them around the Christmas time area, and so we've been coming in every Friday during advisory.
It was really good, especially for our class, because a lot of the time we get caught up in a lot of the things that are going on in high school and just thinking about ourselves, and this allowed us to really do something for other people that was outside of a lot of people's comfort zones. I mean, we danced with elderly residents at a home nearby, and we had to go every single week, and that was really good to help develop our sense of selflessness and to give things and our time to other people.
I think that something really important about the project that we did was that they were working with people that are, different generation than us. And a lot of the times we get caught up in sort of our own thing, and it's really cool to hear their stories and hear what they have to say and their opinions about where we're going in life. And it's really cool because we're just sort of at the beginning of our journey, and they've already accomplished a lot of the things that they wanted to. And so it's cool to see both sides of that spectrum interacting, and it was really a cool thing for, I think, the students in our class to experience.
I think it was really effective, especially we worked at a retirement home, and I think that a lot of us got to know a lot of the residents in the home really well, and it was really great to get to know those people on a deeper level, and also to help the Fossil Ridge community be more aware of the people around us and of different generations.
Well, funny thing, our prom actually landed on the Broncos game, which I think is our biggest thing that we had to overcome, was the attendance, just because of that game, and how most people wanted to see it. But a lot of people did come down after the Broncos game, and they said that they were really sad that they missed it, and that they wanted us to come and host an event there again. We ended up doing a lot of it last minute, and that was stressful. So I think that it might have been a better event overall if we had just spread the time out, but in the end it was really still a great thing.
I'm Callum Schneider from Mr. Warts' advisory, and I'm one of the capstone leaders for the advisory.
So Callum, what made you guys decide to do this project?
We decided to do this project to help support the autistic community at Fossil Ridge and also in PSD. Mm-hmm. We wanted to get together this thing called a squeeze machine, which helps autistic kids calm down when they're a bit, when they get a little bit hyped up. Mm-hmm. So we're out here supporting the autistic kids at Fossil Ridge, hoping to raise awareness.
And what was the planning process like to plan all of this event?
It was quite a tough process. We didn't get a lot of what we planned to get done,
mm-hmm.
Just because it's a really big task.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And what would you say could be something to improve on this project for next year?
We're hoping to make this a 4-year planned project. So we're going to pass this on to another advisory and hopefully come back in 4 years and have the squeeze machine here to help the community. So probably to improve, we probably could have planned a little better, maybe had a little more time to get everything together.
And so would you call this project a success?
I believe it is, yeah. We raised awareness to the autistic community, which is what our original plan was. So.
Yeah. That's great. Well, thanks. And would you suggest other schools to do a senior service project as one of their main goals for their senior year?
Of course, yeah. I think it's one of the defining moments of my senior year is to be able to be involved in a project like this. So
that's great.
Well, as you can see, a lot of the stuff is really burned, and like what we're doing is we're helping her replant her pasture so she'll get new seeds up here. And it'll really help her get her house back together.
I also think it's more beneficial to kind of do labor than just kind of get out and do something.
My class decided they wanted to help somebody that was a victim of the fire, of the High Park fire, and I happen to know the art teacher at Poudre High School, and they had just built their house up here and they had lost everything. So we emailed her name is Julie Lynham, and she said they needed a lot of help. So we were all kind of voted on it and decided this would be a good thing to do.
Well, I mean, I knew the extremity on the news. I mean, you knew it was huge, but you just saw pictures and videos. Grabbed a prong, though, we could just slide it that way? All right. You didn't quite understand until you actually get up here. I mean, you guys will see it's just nuts up here and so vast and just spread out how much damage there really is.
Originally, he called me and asked if there's anything he could do to help. You can see, behind me and around me here that there's lots and lots of area that's burned black, and something needs to be done with this area to help reforest it. If it's an 80-hour job, you guys get it done so much faster, and then we're going to be able to throw seed and reseed this. I bet you there's 100 other families that probably could use the same kind of help, but it's not hard necessarily, but it's a little complicated how to pile it, where to pile it. That's kind of stuff that you just have to be here and do.
I would say the biggest problem was open communication and getting everybody organized and set up. Coordinating rides, coordinating who's bringing what up to wherever you're going or wherever we went, which was up in the mountains. It helped me come out of my shell as a person and as a senior. I found real leadership opportunities, and I think it's just an invaluable experience for anybody else.
What kind of project would you recommend to incoming seniors?
I would say one that's fairly simple, straightforward, so it's not a huge stress on everybody else, but one that really impacts the community. Working for someone rather than raising money just because it gets you that personal experience with another person.